Hi guys, welcome back to Cupcakes and Protein Shakes. I'm your host, Savannah. We're doing another episode of, bringing on another competitor about their journey and chit-chatting. So introduce your name, tell us where you're from, and tell us how old you are.
So hi there. I'm Amparo Jeffrey. I'm from Colorado, Wellington, Colorado, actually, and I am 47 years old.
Okay, so we're going to get started as far as your fitness journey. So when did this start? What got you into fitness?
I've kind of always wanted to compete. I've always been kind of a gym rat. Love bodybuilding. I just, felt like my body always responded to weight training, versus just doing like cardio. So it's just kind of always been a goal of mine to compete. And I guess I never thought I really could at my age, but once COVID happened, everybody kind of gained those, COVID 15, COVID 20 pounds. And I definitely fell into that and, started going into perimenopause at the same time. And I just started looking at pictures of myself and I was like, I need, this is not who I want to be. This is not what I want to do. And so I started looking at coaches because I felt like, doing my own training, kind of, just going on Instagram or websites, trying to come up with my own training plans and my own meal plans weren't really working for me. So I started looking at coaches and I hired on a coach. And, the goal was initially to do a transformation. And, as time kind of went on, she kind of talked me into, hey, why don't you think about competing? And I was like, okay, if you think I can really do that, yeah, let's do it. And so, from there, I just started training for competing September of 2021.
Okay, so that is the very beginning. And since then, how many competitions have you participated in?
Well, I've only participated in one. My first competition was in August of 2022. And right now we're working on just building and getting my body healthy. We were hoping to, compete mile high, but honestly, the first coach, because I now have a new coach that I've been working with now for over 11 months now. First coach kind of ruined my metabolism a little bit. And so now we're really struggling just to get my body back healthy.
Yeah.
Because I essentially was in prep for 11 months, 11 straight months. And it just kind of ruined my metabolism. My metabolism stalled. I had a really hard time after my show, just kind of feeling normal, feeling healthy. And it's just, really took a toll on me. And so luckily I've got a really great coach right now, and healthy, being healthy is her priority, our priority. And so now we're just kind of working on getting me healthy while at the same time building. So I probably won't do another show until, maybe next March.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it takes time to build your metabolism. I've been the same. 2020 was my entire year prep, and I thought that was a good idea, and that was not a good idea. My body fought hard. So then I ended up having to take 2021 off, because of trying to lose weight, trying to do it. And it's like, if you diet that long and don't give a break and just more cardio, lower calories, just like literally starving yourself for that long without any type of, I don't know, just like being on low fats too, that long, like for female hormones, at least that's what I was on, just did not help me. And so it takes some time just to build back your metabolism, because your body's adaptable. And once you put it through whatever you're going to put it through a prep, like prep is hard on your body. Like, you do look amazing, but on the inside, like, you do have to take longer off season. So if, you are dieting for 11 months, plan to take 11 months off plus just to get healthy again. So the less time you spend dieting, the less time you'll have to spend in an off season. But yeah, it's rough. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel for you. It's hard to kind of sit out, even if you want to compete and your body's not cooperating. It is really hard. Going through like a prep, getting to your best shape, and then
Right.
having struggles at the end. When your metabolism is off, it's like even if you eat a little calorie surplus, you just gain a ton of weight, like
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. I mean, because this was all new to me. I didn't know what I was going into. And when I hired on the first coach and we said, okay, competing, like realistically, what is that going to look like? Time frame. And she says 6 months. I can have you competition ready in 6 months. And and I was quite heavy. I was probably, I think 173, 174. Hadn't worked out during that whole year of COVID at all. Because you couldn't get access to a gym. And so, her telling me 6 months, we can do this in 6 months, I'm thinking, okay, that's great. Let's do this. And what I didn't realize is that also meant going into a really hard prep. So right off the bat, we're doing 2 hours of cardio. I'm at 1,100 calories. And it was horrible. I mean, I definitely dropped the weight. Luckily I had some muscle memory because like I said, I've, kind of always been in and out of the gym. And so I had some muscle popping up, but it was horrible. I think I spent 5 hours a day, 6 days a week working out. And I did that for that hard of a prep for a good 7-8 weeks. And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. It was taking a toll on me. I couldn't, I work a full-time job. I have a family at home and I couldn't function. I, couldn't even do dishes. I didn't have the energy for that. I didn't have the energy to cook. Half the time I didn't even have the energy to do work. Like I just wanted to, shut down at lunchtime and just take a nap because I was so exhausted. And then I remember at my check-in, because the weight wasn't dropping as quickly as she wanted it to, she said, we're going to increase the cardio. And I was sitting back thinking, I'm already doing 2 hours of cardio. My, literally my shins were so strained. I couldn't do it anymore. She wanted me to do treadmill, incline, 10%, at like 4 miles per hour speed and for 2 hours straight. And it was taking a toll on my legs, on my shins. And, and one thing I didn't share previously was I have MS also on top of that. And so, when she said she was going to raise my cardio, that's when I said, I can't do this. This isn't the right, program for me. I'm not doing this. And she made me feel so bad about myself. Like, she said, okay, well, maybe you're just a transformation client. Maybe you don't, have the drive to, compete. And so, and that was really hard on me, especially my brain, because I had been giving my all. I had worked with her for a good 6 months. We kind of started off with, making sure I was following a meal plan, making sure I could do all my workouts. And then that's when we went into a hard prep. I did that for about 3 months and then started going into the hard prep. And when she said that to me, it made me want to quit. Like it made me think I was crazy for doing this. This is only for young people. I'm old. My body can't handle this. I don't like people thinking that because I have MS that I'm not capable of achieving, the same goals that, people who don't have autoimmune disease, can achieve. And so it was really heartbreaking and it was devastating. And it was just made me want to give up. So I started researching other coaches, and it took a while. It took a couple of weeks for me to, really kind of absorb what she had said to me. And, am I crazy for doing this? Should I keep going? Do I need to find another coach? And so, so I ended up finding Team Elite Physique. I had Adam do an assessment, physical assessment, and he said, you can totally do this. You can, your bikini's right for you. We can totally do this. But then when I told him how much cardio I was doing and the calories, the first thing he said was run, don't walk.
Yeah.
Run. He said, this is going to completely destroy your metabolism. A lot of women don't come back from this. And he said, my suggestion is to walk away, find another coach. He said, don't let it deter you from competing, because he says, I think you're very capable of doing that. And you've got a great physique. He says, we just got to lean you out. But he says, you're not on the right plan and you don't have a good coach. So, I went back to my first coach and I said to her, I just don't, I'm trying to be as kind as possible. But I said to her, I don't think this is the right program for me. I think I'm just going to do something different. And she took that really hard and she took that really personal. And it was, really interesting just, how her reaction was. But then a couple weeks later, come to find out, she, ended up losing quite a few other clients because they were going through very similar experiences that I had. Some of them, actually competed, but it was how their body responded to reverse diet right after the competition. Some girls, gained like 25 pounds in a week. And I think it was because of her program. And, and I'm still learning, the differences between programs, but it sounded to me like her program was mainly based on bodybuilding. It wasn't for a bikini fitness competitor. And I think that's where we went wrong.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's crazy that they had you starting a prep with protocols that like shouldn't even be utilized until maybe at the very end for a very short period of time. I've done preps where I've had to go to 2 hours of cardio, but it was my choice if I wanted to do it. Because Adam is my coach as well. And so I'm a hard loser at the very end of it. He says, I'm only going to have prescribed an hour and 30 minutes. He's like, it's up to you, but now would be the time. You have to make the choice if you want to push harder or not. He's like, it's up to you how you want to take your physique. And I'm a crazy person. So I'm like, let's do it, but it's hard to reverse when you are in extreme protocols. Think of all the calories that you're burning at that point. You're 2 hours on a treadmill plus eating nothing. Like if you do anything less than that, you're going to gain weight. And that's what was really hard for myself as well, especially for reverse. So the harder you prep, the harder you diet, expect a very rough reverse and just be prepared for it to happen, because the more extreme your protocol is, it's going to be a very, very hard reverse because your body is hyper sensitive. It is begging you to rest. It is begging you for calories. So the second you even eat 100 calories over 1,000, like you're going to absorb all of that because your body is absolutely starving and you're putting it through this weird thing. And it's like, okay, she has to burn all these calories. She's going to be active for 2 hours, but she's not eating anything. So it's like the second you have any surplus, even a small surplus than what you're used to. So if you're on 1,000 and you give yourself even 1,100, it's going to store everything. It's going to suck and you're going to still be starving and you're still going to be hungry and it happens. So it just takes time. And like, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing 2 hours of cardio, like it's case by case different. It's okay to do it. It is, but do it safely, do it knowing that it is going to be hard and that your reverse diet is absolutely critical. Because in terms of percentages, like if you're on 1,000 calories, when you start reversing, okay, if you eat 2,000, you've just doubled your calories. So even though 2,000 calories isn't a lot of food and you're still going to be hungry, your body can't handle it at that time. So you have to slowly introduce it. Same thing with cardio. If you go from 2 hours to nothing, you have to slowly take it down, and it sucks. It sucks to mentally be done with the prep and mentally be like hungry and ready and not have a show and wanting just to have a protein bar. It's not even that you want to eat all this bad stuff, but it's like, oh, I can't even have a protein bar. And if I eat even just a little surplus of chicken, now I'm gaining all this fat back, and it's like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, and what was also interesting was her focus was, let's keep track of the amount of calories you burn. And the goal was to burn 3,000 calories in a day. And I was only eating 1,100 calories, but most of it was protein shakes. It wasn't even real food. And, and so my new coach now, so Tori, Tori's actually my coach, and I've been with her for actually 13 months now. And it was interesting. What I learned is having that many protein shakes is not good for your body. It also, causes your body to retain water and kind of, bloat. I had lots of GI issues also. And so we've really worked to kind of get that fixed. But I didn't know that you could actually manipulate with food versus doing all, the cardio, all the working out. I didn't know you can manipulate your weight, with food, as far as, okay, we're going to give you more carbs, and watching the weight drop with eating proper macros. And so I just think that if you go with a coach and they have you start off doing that much cardio right off the bat, and they're only feeding you protein shakes, that you definitely need to walk away or not walk away, but run, because that was probably the worst experience I've ever had with a coach. And I've hired other coaches in the past, and I guess I thought it was kind of strange, but she was a competitor, she was a pro. I thought, she must know what she's doing. She's got quite a few clients. But now I'm wishing I had done a little bit more research about effective coaching and how to get your body to respond versus just going with the coach just because they look good and they have trophies. So that's kind of the takeaway I've gotten from this. But now, so after I left that coach working with Tori, like we had to work on reverse dieting first before we started prep again. So she says, we need to get your metabolism, back to normal as much as we can. So doing the reverse dieting, I was able to actually lose weight, even though I was eating food, and I wasn't working out. I wasn't in the gym. lifting for 3 hours at a time, which is what my first plan was with my first coach. And so it was just amazing how, the food manipulation, I was still getting results, even though I wasn't spending all the time doing all the cardio, doing all the weight training. I still was training for 6 days a week, but not for 5 hours, instead I'm only doing maybe 2.5 hours. So that was kind of nice, but it took us probably a good 8 weeks of reverse dieting before Coach Tori would even think, okay, let's start prep. And even then, she says, you don't have to do a show right now. We can keep working on getting your body healthy, which I probably could have really benefited from, but I really wanted to do a show. And so that was my goal. And so, so we went ahead and prepped for 16 weeks. She says, we're going to do it a slower prep. She says, we're going to have the weight come off slow. And I don't think it would have come off any quicker anyways, just because my metabolism was, so messed up. So 12 or 16 weeks afterwards, I did the Colorado, I can't even remember what show it was in August. But anyways, I, did masters, got a 4th place, and I was happy with that. I was happy with how I looked. And as you probably know, right after you finish a show, you get that drive and you're like, I want to do another show right away. And so we had planned to do another show about 2 months afterwards. But then my body just started to fall apart. And that's when she said, I don't think it's a good idea to do a prep right now. Let's get your body healthy. You've essentially prepped for about 11 months. Let's get you healthy. And, we'll look at a show next spring. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Geez, what a freaking journey. I'm sorry that you had to experience that, but I'm hoping that the next time you prep like fully after giving yourself a full off season, you're going to see crazy changes very fast. Because once your metabolism comes back, that's what happened to me. I took a whole year off and just worked on not doing cardio, reducing my cardio and increasing my calories as absolutely high as I could withstand, maintaining a leaner physique in the off season and still just like building and building and building. So the next time that I prepped, no prep is easy, but it was easier that I had a place to start from, right? When you start and you're like basically doing no cardio, throw in, 3 sessions of 15 minutes, I was seeing weight loss on that. And then it was progressive. It was really, really, really steady. It was like, okay, just the next week, we're just going to add 5 minutes on. So it was like, oh, that's nothing. And so it just felt like the goal was a lot easier to progress into it and like attain it. And so if you start and you just go from 0 to 100, that leap is so hard to get motivated. But if you kind of like baby step yourself in and it's like, okay, last week I did 3 sessions. This week I'm going to shoot for, 4. I did it last week. So it kind of gains your confidence in your abilities. And you're like, okay, I just want to, a baby push this week, a baby push this week. And then you slowly, by the end of it, you're like, wow, now I'm up to 2 hours. It used to be really hard, but now I'm slowly got myself into shape and I only have to do it for a week. And then that's it. That's all. So it's really interesting how the body actually works. And I think it takes time to learn about how prepping actually works. It takes a couple of preps and reverses and off seasons to get how the process works. A couple of things that really helps kind of like light bulb moments was you can't diet forever. If you continue to cut your calories forever, are you going to live off of 0? You can't. So,
well, and I mean, this is something I wish, all coaches would kind of, talk about with clients, especially first-time clients, kind of how diet works, how, your body responds, you know, off seasons work as well, because I didn't know any of this. And I think if I had known, doing that much cardio right off the bat, eating such low calories, how it was going to affect my body, I probably wouldn't have signed up to do this. I probably would have said, you know what, maybe I just want to be a transformation client, or lifestyle, and stay away from competing. But it's a conversation that I think all coaches should probably have, especially with, brand new clients who are very new to the whole, competing world and how diet works.
Yeah, I think you're really right. And like that just kind of circles back to, if you are listening to this and you are interested in making the jump into either general lifestyle or competing, the decision of who you select as your coach is very, very important, because their health is in you, like you're putting your health in that person's hands. And if it's not the right hands, your health isn't worth it. And good coaching is expensive for a reason. Bad coaching is cheap for a reason. There is a reason for it. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna, go with, Sally over here who charges like basically nothing. Well, is your health worth that? And I always say, competing is expensive, but in my mind, I justify it because I'm investing in my health now, so I don't have these future health problems later, that you have to do blood work and who knows, get diseases or all that kind of stuff. So if you invest in your health now with the proper guidance for nutrition and cardio and someone that you really, really, really trust, yes, it might be expensive now, but it, in my opinion, is 100% worth it. So you don't have these situations where you feel miserable and you're not happy with your body. Like, I would much rather pay someone I trust to be happy with my body year round, to feel good, than to try to take a budget route of someone that doesn't really know what they're doing.
Right. Well, and, what was interesting is the, first coach, she was with the team who's, pretty well known. I think once, the team owners found out kind of, what the specific coach, was doing with her clients, that they did end up firing her. But I thought it was interesting that, the rest of the team owners didn't really know, they didn't really keep track of, I guess their coaches, clients, just to check in and make sure that everything was happening in a healthy way. And so, the one thing I really like about, Team Elite, not that I'm trying to, promote them or anything, but, I
this
just
is a commercial for them.
I just think they're amazing, is, that Adam, he's, very invested in all of the clients, not just his clients. And he stays informed, all of his coaches kind of check in with him. And so they all work together to make sure that their clients are healthy. And I think that's also really important when you're looking, to join a team, is that there's knowledge all the way around, and it's it's cohesive, and you're not just working with one coach, but you're working with several coaches to make sure that your training and your meal plan, your nutrition, is proper for you, and you're healthy. You're doing it in a very healthy way.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that.
Okay, so outside of this situation, what did you learn about yourself during this journey through competing?
Well, what I learned is I can actually push my body and take it to levels that I never thought I was capable of, especially having MS. I guess I just never knew, I could, and I can do it in a natural way too, because I'm very much a natural competitor. And sometimes, you do you do see clients who, or not clients, but, girls, compete and, they're not natural, but, to be able to get my body lean and muscular and, feeling good, in a natural way, but also something that I just never thought I could, as a Latina, woman, we hold on to more weight, we hold on to more fat. It's really hard for us to get lean. And being able to do it while working a full-time job and, and holding down a family, you know, that was something I just never thought I could ever achieve. And so now it's kind of instilled in me, and, you want to do it more, and, you want to continue, the path just because you feel so good about yourself. And I have so many friends, who, and I don't post a whole lot on social media. I'm, a little bit more of a private person, but I have friends, who reach out to me, and, they say, your journey has inspired us. And, they're all older women, in their 40s and 50s, going through menopause, which, that's another hurdle that I never thought I could, get healthy and lean and muscular while going through menopause. And honestly, I think if I hadn't gone through the whole, journey, I probably would be pretty miserable feeling, probably way more overweight at this point. Because menopause just throws a whole monkey wrench in there, and going through all of those challenges. And so, but I have a lot of women, friends who say that I've inspired them to, start their journey, whether it's, just going out and doing cardio, or maybe going into the gym, and just, getting fit and healthy. And I think it doesn't matter if you're competing or not. I think just, going down that journey is what's important, and feeling good about yourself, feeling healthy, and knowing that, you can go in and do it at any age, I think is important.
Yeah, it's very inspiring to hear like you've overcome a lot personally, and through your entire journey. There's a lot of people that you don't realize that are watching that will probably never ever ever tell you, but they see you every day in the gym. And you're like, that's why I really like fitness. It's because of how it spreads. It's positive, right? Someone sees you working hard, they're inspired, they want to work hard. Maybe it's not for the gym, but just because they saw you do it, maybe they do something in their job or their work, or you're juggling, all of these different things. And they're like, well, I don't have that many things that I'm juggling. Surely I could do it too. So just that inspiration through fitness is why I really, started this podcast and love it, because it spreads like wildfire when you see someone, believing in themselves despite obstacles, and like having a lot of success, whatever that looks like to you and them. Like, it's inspiring just to so many people, because there's so many people that don't ever make the step into either hiring a coach or getting into the gym or setting a goal or stepping on the stage, and they have these aspirations that they want to, but they just never can do it. So that's why it's like so important for us to share this information and journey, and just let people know like it is possible to do it. Anyone can, any age, doesn't matter your background, full-time job. Like, people are busy, everyone's busy, you can do it. And so I'm very glad that you were able to come on and share your story. And I'll kind of let you finish your episode with any like last minute advice or just words of wisdom for anyone that's wanting to start a fitness journey.
Well, let's see. I just think, don't let anything hold you back. Just do it. If you, if it's even just crossed your mind, just get up and do it. And don't be afraid, of looking silly. Don't be afraid of what others might think of you. Honestly, at my gym, I work out with I have teenage girls, and their friends are in there, and, and we work out together. And so, don't be afraid of what others might think of you, and especially if you go and compete and being on stage. And if, you know, and if you're older, like, I think age is just a number. It doesn't define who you actually are and what you're capable of. I, you know, might be 47 years old, but I feel like I'm still, you know, 25 years old. I have, you know, the energy, you know, that my kids have, and I can go out and do things with them, and I enjoy it. And I think if I hadn't gone through this, you know, this journey of getting healthy and working out and even competing, that, you know, I probably wouldn't be able to enjoy those things. And so just do it and have fun with it. And, you know, that's all I can say is just do it. Don't let anything stop you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Literally. Because at the end of the day, like, no one really cares what you do. No one
Right.
does. We just think that they do.
We
Oh,
do.
what are the everyone's you do you think everyone's sitting on their social media waiting for you to make an announcement of something that you're gonna do? No, no one, everyone is very selfish at the end of the day. They only care about what's gonna benefit them, and they want you to be happy. So true friends, true family, they will support you on any decision, any goal, if they're truly there for you. And you'll just be amazed at when you decide to do something, everything will work out. So I'm glad that you were able to join us. And if anyone does want to follow you on social media or reach out to you, and you're not active there, but where could they do so?
Just on Instagram, it's just my name, Amparo Jeffrey. So pretty easy.
Okay, and then we were gonna finish, I won't forget today. If you could be either Team Cupcake or Team Protein Shake, what would you pick?
Oh, definitely Team Cupcake.
Yay. Okay. And describe your favorite cupcake, or if you could be a cupcake, what flavor would you be?
Probably just, I'm pretty plain, just chocolate.
Chocolate.
Just give me a chocolate cupcake.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Simple, but it's so good. So good.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really glad, I had this opportunity to share my story, and hopefully someone, can learn from it.
Yeah, I think so too.